Hey medicos, today we'll be learning about red blood cells, also called as erythrocytes. The topics that we'll be dealing in this chapter is introduction, normal value, morphology, properties, lifespan, fate, variations, and functions. Firstly, coming to the introduction of RBC, these are non-nucleated cells and they are red in color, hence called red blood cells. The red color is because of the pigment present, hemoglobin. Coming to the normal value, it is about 4 to 5.5 million mm cube. In males, it is around 5 million mm cube, and in females, it is around 4.5 mm cube. Coming to the morphology, it is biconcave in shape. That is, at the periphery, it is thick and centrally, it is thin. Advantages of this shape is it helps in easy exchange and rapid diffusion of gases like CO2 and oxygen. It increases the surface area due to which absorption is easier. It decreases the tension on cell when volume is altered. And while moving through the minute capillaries, RBCs can easily squeeze through them, due to which the damage caused to RBCs is less. Coming to the size, its diameter is around 6.9 to 7.4 microns. We usually consider it on an average as 7.2 microns. Thickness at the periphery is 2.2 microns and centrally it is 1 micron. Surface area is 120 micron square and volume is 85 to 90 micron cube. Coming to the structure, it has special cytoskeleton called as actin and spectrin. This is connected to the transmembrane protein with the help of unchirin. If spectrin is not there, the biconcave shape is lost and it becomes spherocytes, that is globular in shape. In that case, the cells become more fragile and there will be increased cases of hemolysis. Coming to the properties of RBCs, it has Rowlatt's formation. Rowlatt's formation is piling up of RBCs in blood vessels. The second property is specific gravity. It is around 1.092 to 1.101. Packed cell volume. It is the proportion of red blood cells present in the blood. It is around 45%. Suspension stability. It means in the blood, red blood cells are in uniform suspension. Lifespan of RBCs, it is well known, it is 120 days. It is being destroyed in reticuloendothelial system. We can determine the lifespan of RBCs with the help of radioactive iron or radioactive chromium. The procedure is we calculate rate of loss of radioactive cells from circulation. Coming to the fate of RBCs. Old cells become fragile. So, when they pass through small capillaries, like with the ones present in the red pulp of spleen, they are hemolyzed. Hence, spleen is also called as graveyard of RBCs. Again, a well-known fact. First, there is destruction of RBCs, which is mainly taking place in spleen. It is fragmented and then it is phagocytosized with the help of macrophages. From these fragments, hemoglobin is released. Hemoglobin has iron, which combines with apoprotein to form ferritin, which is stored and reused. It has globin, which is taken into the protein pool and also which is stored and reused. Coming to the porphyrin, which is present in the hemoglobin, gets converted into bilirubin, which is excreted out of the body. Coming to the next topic, functions. It helps in the transport of oxygen and carbon dioxide. 97% of oxygen is being carried by blood and 30% of carbon dioxide is being carried by blood. It forms oxyhemoglobin and carb-aminohemoglobin. Blood has carbonic anhydrase enzyme which helps in formation of bicarbonates. In the form of bicarbonate, 63% of carbon dioxide is being carried. The second function of RBCs is buffering. This buffering action helps in acid-base balance. Buffering action is mainly contributed by hemoglobin. Next, it helps in determination of blood groups because there are antigens being present on the surface of the RBCs. Coming to the variations in the red blood cells with respect to the number, physiological, that is, which is not a pathology, that is, it's not harmful. During birth, it is 8 to 10 million per mm cube. After 10 days, it decreases. Hence, that is, maximum cells are being hemolyzed, due to which there is increased production of bilirubin, which causes physiological jaundice in children. Coming to the gender or sex, it is more in males than female. In high altitude, it is more because of hypoxic conditions. During muscular exercise also, the number of RBCs is more because during exercise, there is a mild hypoxia happening. During emotional conditions, it increases. Temperature is directly proportional to the number of RBCs. After meals, because of increased metabolism, we need more oxygen. Hence, hypoxic, that is, it's kind of hypoxic condition, due to which the RBC production increases. Decrease is, there are certain conditions where it decreases physiologically, like high barometric pressure, like in deep sea, during sleep and during pregnancy. Pregnancy because extracellular fluid is increasing, due to which there is hemodilution. Pathologically, when there are increase in RBCs, we call it as polycythemia. There are two conditions, primary and secondary. Primary is when there is some defect in the bone marrow, and secondary, it is during some other condition which leads to hypoxia, which in turn leads to increased production of RBCs. Some conditions like emphysema, poisoning due to phosphorus and arsenic leads to the conditions like hypoxia, which leads to increased production of RBCs. Variation in size. Microcytic, that is, the size of the RBCs is less. Usually, physiologically, it is in arterial blood, and pathology is during iron deficiency anemia and increased osmotic pressure. Macrocytic, it is increased cell size. It is in venous blood, that is obviously physiological. Pathological is megaloblastic anemia or decreased osmotic pressure. Anisocytic is different sized cells are present in the blood. Example, pernicious anemia. Next, variations in the shape. Crenation, the first one, which is due to the shrinkage whenever the cells are kept in a hypertonic solution, because the fluid from the cell is lost to the exterior. Spherocytosis, that is, the cell becomes globular in shape. Whenever the cells are kept in hypotonic solution, the fluid from outside enters into the cell. Ellipsocytosis, it is the cells become ellipse in shape, elliptical. Sickle shell shaped, that is, the cells become crescentic in shape. And poikilocytosis, that is any other different shape than the usual. It is due to the damage to cell membrane. Then, structure of RBCs, that is variation in structures of RBC. It can be punctate basophilism, ring, or Howell-Jolly bodies. Thank you.